Have you ever wondered how a round bale is made? Well, in this video, I'm putting my camera inside the Kuhn baler, and you can get an inside look. Essentially, what happens when we're making round bales is that the pickup has teeth that picks up the hay off the ground, and it pushes and collects the hay. The hay gets pushed through knives, which are currently put in to cut down the hay into smaller pieces. So the hay gets collected, and there are two belts inside the baler that are running opposite of each other. But what happens is the bale gets formed is that they're making the bale inside rotate. And as you're driving along, you're slowly adding more and more hay into the bale. And the monitor inside the tractor tells you whether you are heavy on one side or small on the other. And you can drive accordingly to try to put more hay on one or other side to get a bale that looks nice and perfect, such as this one. After the sensor inside the baler reads 5 foot, we run the wrapping cycle, which throws the net wrap on, and then we are free to jettison the bale and kick it out, start on the next one. It's really just that simple. And that is how a bale is made. Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. We are currently down in the valley. So last week, Travis and I brought both mowers down and knocked out all of the hay down in the valley. So right now, there's over 100 acres worth of hay that is knocked down here. And the next day they were calling for rain, which it did rain, but we had anticipated that because they are calling for clear weather. So the next day it rained, but that didn't really amount to much. And the following day, Travis went out and tedded the hay. Yesterday, he went out and tedded it again. Actually, that was yesterday where he tedded it the first time. Today, he tedded it again. And the hay's drying enough to where we think that we're going to be able to come out here tomorrow and start baling. So we went through and put the duals back on the 4640 because especially down here, it's nice to have the stability with the duals on some of the hills down here. It gets a little steep. But the first night, Travis and I took both mowers down and knocked all of this down in one day. It took pretty much all day to do, but we got it done. So we're bringing down the machines down tonight so that in the morning we can just go ahead and start making hay. I got down here quite a bit ahead of them. And Travis is coming down the road now, but Dad should be following closely behind with the 46. So the current game plan is to, oh yeah, there is Dad. The current game plan is for Travis to rake tomorrow, and I'm gonna start baling with the 82 and the Kuhn VB560. And then if Travis can get far enough ahead of me, he's going to hop in the 76 and start playing catch up. So here they come now. This is our last video of making hay for the year. Let's send it. It's the next day now. Travis just started baling. He's been raking this morning with the 46 over there. And he's going around and doing the outside pass or two with the 76 because the John Deere baler has acid on it. So the outside rounds are obviously going to be wetter because they go down into the bottom where it gets a little bit hairy. So he's going to take the John Deere baler around, do the outside passes so they can put the acid on them to help preserve the quality of the hay. And we're gonna get started working on the hilltop up here and what he's already done. So let's go ahead and fire up the Kuhn baler and get started. We're gonna be making 5 foot bales, and we're gonna be putting 4 wraps on them, which is quite a lot, but they're gonna be handled so many times that it helps having a few more wraps on there compared to when we were wrapping the hay and only we're putting on 2.5. So what do you say we fire it up and get to working? 13%. It's gold. 13.6, the same as the one I just made. I'm almost done raking. I'm just going to do that outside round. I'm going to go back to raking. But once we get done over there, then we're going to go over to the neighbor's place and we're going to actually work east to west. The plan is to get at least half this farm, everything that's down here, done today. So the first bale turned out good. We're going to go ahead and Keep on bailing. Finished the field over there, which was 57 bales, and about to start over here. This whole valley is actually a bench just off the Mississippi River. So the river is right over that hill there. That cliff is about 400 feet up. Sun's going down and we're almost done for today. So I've got about 75 bales made, plus whatever he's baled. That just leaves the bottom for tomorrow, and then we're gonna be done with hay. I turned the outside compaction on this one up to 9.5. Ooh. I thought you said you were going to make them hard. I mean, it's hard in the center. Warm. Mm-hmm. 16.6. What's the temperature? 74. Yeah. It's 16.6. I aim for, especially if we're going to put them inside, about 15 is where I aim. And it's actually, they gained a little bit of moisture, but these were the last ones I raked. These were raked the shortest amount of time since we baled them. The stuff that we initially checked, and that was already raked for 2 hours by the time we started. I don't know.
I think they'll make nice feed, and if anything, they'll definitely go to stack them. They'll stack nice.
Yeah.
This stuff, I don't even know if you'd call it a rain that it's had on it, because that rain shower that it had was, the morning dew is heavier than that rain we got.
Here's the last pass of the day.
You want to see two grown men scream like little girls, as if it would have started moving right then?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a rat snake, pretty sure. The garden snake is what, the black or green one?
Day 2, we're getting it done. So we can find the bale pressure in here. So I wonder what would happen in theory if we were to set both of these at 10. Let's find out. We're making the most compact bale that we possibly can. And now it's getting pretty close to the red. Slow down a little bit. Let's go have a look, shall we? So I just wanted to push the Kuhn to its limits, see what kind of bale that it would make if I cranked the pressure all the way up. And yeah, I'd say that's a pretty firm bale. On the outside, I mean, I still get my hand kind of in there, but I would love to know what this bale weighs. Now let's try this again. Now let's see what happens when we bring this down. Let's make the outside just a little bit more firm, because I don't want it to be a complete total loss of a bale. Let's see what happens. That pressure gauge there isn't hardly climbing at all now. There we have it. I can definitely tell that not nearly as much hay went to making this bale as the last one. It's all wrapped. That still looks like a pretty good bale, honestly. Oh, oh boy. That one is, that one's very loose. So there you have it, folks. You can definitely tell the difference there. I mean, I can fit my whole hand right in that bale. It looks like a regular old bale. I mean, it still looks really good. I would call that acceptable. However, I think where you're really gonna see the difference here is in weight. And we'll see how this bale holds up after it's been handled a couple times. Not having as much density there, even probably the lightest nicks, or when you drop it along the ground, could affect how well the net wrap holds together the bale. So all in all, I mean, just looking at it, it looks like a regular old bale. I could have made it just a little bit looser, but I don't really see the need to. I didn't want to crank it all the way down to 0 and have nothing but a giant marshmallow come out the back end, you know. But it's enough of that. Let's keep on rolling. Well, we're all out of wrap. Luckily, we have another one right over there. Let's get to work. We can just toss this one over there. First thing to do is make sure that we get this barn. Lock that in place. Take out this plate here. So it's really easy to change the rolls once you got them all mounted up inside the baler. So we got 2 straps holding them on. Pull these off. All we got to do is go to that end, pick it up, and it swivels on this bar here. So we really only have to mess with half the weight of the roll to get it up in. So if you've got any older gentlemen or anybody else running the baler who can't lift a full roll, it's actually pretty easy because it halves the amount of weight that you got to lift to get it switched over. So you can send someone out and not have to worry about them having to lift a whole roll up above their heads. So it typically helps to tie a knot here so that the knives back there can grab it and pull it through. Don't forget to unlatch that. Let's check the cycle time on our door. Six seconds. That's pretty fast. Sometimes you gotta stop and just take a picture. You probably can't see it much here, but a good comparison I found between the compaction between the two balers is by looking at the sheen on the side of the bales. This one's got a nice like reflectivity to it, and that one over there is dull no matter which way you look at it. I saw someone's comment this morning that said if you pull the knives out at the end of the bale, like I did on that one, you can leave the more stringier material on the outside of the bale, which will result in more compaction inside the bale and hold it together better. And I've done it for the last 10 bales or so, and from what I can tell, I got out and I tried pushing my hand through one. It seems like by doing that, you are holding the bale together better. So just by using the hydraulics in the tractor, I can pull them out. I've been leaving about until the buzzer goes off is when I pull the knives out. So there's a layer of 3 inches of material on the outside of the bale that's stringier, which should hold the bale together better. Seems like it's working pretty good. I think that's something that you'll notice more when you go to unwrap the bale. But since these are probably all going to be getting sold, unless, since it is, you know, sundown now, we're trying to finish up. If these bales do end up heating, Travis will keep them for feed, so we'll kind of see what happens here. But we're down to the end now, and he just gave me the signal to keep on going. I just finished. I emptied the baler out. I didn't want to get stuck with a partial bale since we're running 2 balers. So I went through and added up all the bales that I baled in the last 2 days, and it came out to be 121. Since Travis baled slightly more because he baled stuff that he wanted to put acid on, it's safe to assume that he has at least 120. So that would put us right around, I think, probably tickling 300, which was a pretty good crop. So with 2 balers, 2 mowers, we were able to mow it in 1 day and bale it in 2 days. Now, if Dad was off and he was able to rake for us, we might have been able to bale a little bit faster, but someone always had to be on the rake. So now Travis is finishing up down there. He wanted me to take the 46 down and rake up whatever was left to speed things along. So let's go down and finish that off and call her a day. I just can't help but feeling like something's missing here. Anyway, be prepared for a few continuity errors as we go into our next couple videos. Things got a little hectic once we started harvesting, and my video pool is kind of a mess right now, so I'll have to go back through and pick out what footage belongs where. And just be prepared for me to grow and lose and then regrow my beard a couple times, just in case, you know. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Tell a friend about How Farms Work. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all How Farms Work. And don't forget that you can go to our How Farms Work store, howfarmswork.com, and order yourself some How Farms Work stuff for the winter season. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, guys.